What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another episode of Pikmin 2. Previously, what we ended up doing is we ended up arriving at our new location, the Awakening Wood. We also cleared our way, got the spicy spray that you can see on the left side of the screen with some berries that aren't actually valued as treasure. And in addition to that, we also ended up opening the way to a new dungeon called the Hole of Beasts and made our way through 2 floors. So we are on the 3rd floor now. We're going to finish this dungeon today. So without further ado, let's get on. So like I told you in the last episode, we have fire hazards here in this dungeon, so we are going to be using our red Pikmin because they are immune to said fire hazards. I'm going to just do that here for every single one of these fire geysers. Very simple enough to just throw your Pikmin on them. You can also swarm them, but I would highly advise against that unless you only have red Pikmin in your squad. So, yep, that. And we're going to go there. And there is a treasure in there. That is a Mahjong piece. I've never actually played Mahjong or anything like that, but I do know of it. Actually, funnily enough, part because of Avatar: The Last Airbender, because of just like the game that they played kind of resembled Mahjong. And there was another show, but I can't even remember what that show was where there were these characters were playing Mahjong. But yeah. Now this item here was, I can't remember what this was exactly, but if I remember correctly, this item was one of those things where like, it's kind of like you would have to buy like a rent-a-game at like a vending machine type thing. I don't exactly know what they were called, but it's a very cool piece of Nintendo history. Throw one more there. Alright, and then we're just going to swarm Pikmin on this guy. But yeah, very interesting piece of Nintendo history. I cannot remember exactly what these guys are called, but they are very, very cool. Like if you think about it, like this is one of the things that people probably miss about more traditional gaming. So very interesting piece of Nintendo history. I just wish I could tell you more about it. There's actually a treasure in this dungeon. That's actually well, I actually don't know if it's in this dungeon or if it's in the one we're going to go to next, but it's certainly another cool piece of Nintendo history that I'll talk to you guys about. Here's a Mahjong piece. I believe this is 7, given the amount of icons that are on this. Strife Monolith. Yeah, given the icons that are on that and like the circles, I think that's just 7 piece. I have no idea how to play Mahjong. I've seen it, don't know how to play it. The pieces look cool though. There's this, very cool. You can see the game on there. Cosmic Archive, that's very cool. I like the name of that. It really is kind of just like an archive, isn't it? Alrighty, with that, we have discovered the next floor exit, so we're going to do that here. Like I said, I can't remember if this is 4 or 5 floors, but this really is not a tough dungeon whatsoever. So, I'm not too worried. Alright, let's see if is this the final floor, or is there one more after this? I can't remember. There's one more after this. Okay. So, we are not on the rest floor. There's some eggs over there. Now, there is an egg here, I believe, that has something we need to be ready for. So, I don't know if it's this one, because it's randomly generated. So, what I'm going to do is throw a purple, but just have your purples ready. Nope, it's not this. Okay. Got a bulb orb over there. What do we have over here? Ah, it is in this dungeon. Okay, so this card is a Nintendo playing card. Now, for those of you who don't know, Nintendo was actually a trading card company back in the, or playing card company back in the 1800s. Like it's certainly an extremely old company, funnily enough. Like this Nintendo has been around for a very long time, even beyond video games, and they just eventually transitioned into video games, which I believe saved the company or something like that. So pretty cool, like really cool if you think about it. Next we have this bulb orb here. We're just gonna take care of this guy. But yeah, those are, and you can actually buy these cards, I still think, on the Nintendo's official website, which is really neat. You can see on the back, I believe it's got, oh no, it's on the front. Where does it say? Yeah, Nintendo right there in the front. Luck Wafer. Yeah, it stuns the bulb. Alright, that guy's dead. Alright, now this is a very familiar thing to most Nintendo fans. This is a Game & Watch, which is really cool. Again, all of the treasures here are really, there's really cool treasures in this game. And this harkens back to Nintendo history. So, is it this? Okay, no, it's not this. Okay, I think it's in the next dungeon then. Okay. Because I did a quick, like, practice playthrough of some of the early dungeons recently just to get back to... Oh, these are the things! I can't remember what they're called, but you'd want to throw your purples at these guys. I think that part of their last name, they're called mites. They can't kill Pikmin, they just scare any Pikmin that isn't purple. They scare any Pikmin that isn't purple. They cause them to sort of just run around in disarray. And then when you hit them, they just drop potions. Or not potions, they just drop a nectar. Yeah, they just drop nectar. So we're just going to carry those guys back to base. If you actually find these guys above ground, they give 1 Pikmin per harvest, so, or per enemy that you carry back. So I forget what they're called. This is one of the enemies that I always forget the names of. And by the way, the enemy that we ran into is not the burgeoning spider wart. The burgeoning spider wart is what the plants that had this the plants that had this spicy berries are called. The actual name of that enemy that burrowed under the ground is called a cloaking burrow nit. I probably put that in the last episode, but just thought I'd say it right now. Dream Architect. Alright, it looks cool. Looks really cool. Alrighty. There was a purple flower there. We have to grab that because we need more purples here. I remember we had that that cardboard bag we had to or paper bag that we had to weigh down with 20 purples, so we need this. So we currently have, I believe, oh, we got 20 purples on this, but we want 25. And then we got some nectar to get these guys going. So, alright. I also like how the Pikmin sing, or like they chant when you have them in certain things. And funnily enough, once we get... There it is again. But once we get all the types of Pikmin, there's actually a little cute little Easter egg that they do when you get a certain amount of each Pikmin out. And we'll do that once we have every single type of Pikmin. I'll show that little Easter egg off, which I think is kind of cute. It's cute, and also the backstory is a little grim as well, but yeah. Alrighty, it looks like we got everything. We got 25 purples, which is more than enough to weigh down that paper bag outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to head down to the final floor of the Hole of Beasts. Alrighty, now the boss of this area really isn't bad. I'll tell you about it here, because we're going to see the boss right away, essentially. Hole of Beasts sub-level 5, and as you can see, looks like a Bulborb was completely crushed underneath our feet. I mean, you can see that right there. Look at that. Like, look at that. And if you listen closely, we can hear something sleeping. And we turn around and you go, whoa, what the heck is this thing? What you want to do for this is you want to walk up and just chuck a couple of Pikmin onto it. And she will wake up. This is Empress Bulblax. She is essentially the wife of Emperor Bulblax from the first game, the final boss. What you want to do is you want to throw Pikmin up at her lip like that. Then you want to whistle your Pikmin away, and then you want to run the hell away. So she's going to roll here, and any Pikmin that get caught or chase her will get crushed as she rolls from side to side. So you can see all of the enemies that she's annihilated by rolling over them. But yeah, you want to just throw your purples right at her upper lip. They will do a lot of damage. It's a really good place to throw them. And then you just whistle them back. You just got to be patient. She's really not that tough of a boss whatsoever. I will say, though, this is not the last time we will encounter Empress Bulblax. Empress Bulblax has another appearance in this game, and that appearance is actually much tougher than this one, so you'll see why. But let me do this. Get her to at least yellow. Yep, we're good, we're good. Yep, get him away. No, that was really late. That was really late. I thought I had that earlier, but we're good. Yeah, we got a lot of extra damage on her. If you're more efficient than me and you know the timing a lot better, even though I played this game a lot, you're a little more risky. You can actually kill her in like 3 or 4 cycles. So, oh, she doesn't. She might just be able to do this. No, get away, get away, get away. Okay. Oh god, that one flower red Pikmin. Goodness me. Okay. Come on, guys. Come on. You're gonna die here in this cycle. I don't really care. We're just gonna throw right here. And she's dead! Not hard boss fight at all. And ew. The way she dies is really just kind of disgusting. You love tester. Pretty funny, huh? I don't even know if I'm old enough to even have known what these things are, because I never encountered these when I was a kid. How bizarre. This device is emitting black light. It must have been ingested by that creature. What an absolutely repulsive life form. Our return to Hokage cannot come soon enough. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's carry this back to base. This is an important treasure, so if you look at our items here, this is one of these treasures, and we'll talk about it here when we get to it, when we carry it back to base and what it does. We'll carry her back to base because she also is worth 15 Pokos, and, you know, just carrying the bosses back to base kind of feels like a victory, right? Like you've won, right? It's like, like I've done it, right? I beat the boss. Alright, Pikmin run back to me. And there it is. And whenever you get like this sparkliness, this is when you get those types of treasures. Prototype detector. This contraption seems to react when it approaches treasure. I will connect it to my radar. Processing complete. The treasure gauge is now fully operational. It will now appear on your monitor. The needle will move right as you approach treasure. This is what I was talking about. That sound that just played, if you heard it, it kept playing even though we didn't have the treasure gauge yet. So, it's a glitch that they never ever bothered to fix with this game, but I'm perfectly okay with it. But yes, that sound signifies that essentially there's no treasure left on this floor where we are in this area. And as you can see on the bottom right, the treasure gauge is gray, which means there really is no treasure. So that's your other indicator if you're not privy to the sound. So, with Empress Ballblocks taken care of, let's head back out to the Awakening Wood. Very cute. Alrighty. Got a ton of treasure. Look at all that. 46 Pokos worth. We're 20% through of the debt. Which means we have 80% left. So really, really cool there. Save there. And we are Gucci. So very, very cool. So when we make our way back out here to the Awakening Wood, we kind of just want to go right into our next thing because I want to save as much time of the day as possible, and you'll see why. So what we're going to do is we're probably 20% of debt recovered. Thank you. I would raise more Pikmin, but I think it's kind of useless here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run. Actually, we might just carry these guys back to base real quick. There's nothing wrong with that since we're right here next to base. Might as well just carry a few more pellets back to base. Just get a few extra Pikmin. That's not going to really take that much time off of it. So I would get more sprays, but that's something I think we can just kind of stave off for the time being. We'll have opportunities more to get them back later, to get more later. I just would rather get this done right now. So what we're going to do is we are going to walk past the burgeoning spiderworts, and we're going to head over to the, you can see the treasure gauge is going up because there's a treasure right there, right? But you're going to see, we're just going to go right over here to the paper bag, and we're going to just weigh it down. And there's another cloaking burrow net right there, so we're just going to get rid of it. Nice. And then now, we're just going to kill this guy. And you can see there's another dungeon right there that I'd like to hop into right away. And then we can spend more time getting Pikmin later. So he's going to impale a Pikmin, but it's fine. I would carry this guy back to base because once you carry, if you don't carry enemies back to base before you go into something like a dungeon, unfortunately, they will just be gone. But what are you going to do? I'd rather get into this now. Astounding! My metal detectors are reacting violently. What could be down below? If you find trouble below, press plus to contact me and press the right on the D-pad on the radar screen. The exploration pod will drop its loot to make room to carry you, Louie, and the Pikmin to safety. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to head into the White Flower Garden. As you can see, there is a new hazard in there, which is poison, and you need poison-resistant Pikmin to get through it, and poison-resistant Pikmin to take down these walls that I've been telling you guys about. I wonder what we're going to find down here. So, let's head into the White Flower Garden. It's pretty funny, the first two types of Pikmin that we get are the new ones, so I find that very funny that for this game that they didn't save one of the other Pikmin until later in the game. Alright, so White Flower Garden. Careful here, if you throw Pikmin and they fly off the edges here, they will just die, and I'm talking about like right here. Oh, sheer grubs, sheer grubs, sheer grubs. But yes, if you throw Pikmin off the edges here, they will just legit die. And they are jerks later in the other stages of the later stages of the game when there are enemies that can throw Pikmin off. And even in this dungeon, there are that Pikmin can get thrown off into the abyss, like off these cliffs and just die. So, by the way, I will say this since I have yet to address this. If we do get like a massive, like... No, don't snap your... Thank God. Thank God he did not snap. He had his jaws in on a purple. If we do have a mass loss of Pikmin, like in a dungeon like this, I will reset the floor. If there are certain losses that are like, whatever, I'll keep going. Because you gotta trudge along, right? I'm gonna take my losses sometimes. But if it's like a third or half of the squad, I mean, we're resetting. Because you know, it just happens, right? It's like save scumming and like Civ, right? If you guys have played Civilization. Alrighty, got a couple of treasures here. Actually, is it just one? I think it's just one, right? Yeah. Let me just make sure. Again, if you want to see if things pop up from above, you can do this. That's where you can see things spawn. Also, this is gross, all the rust. Alright, we're gonna do this. Also, what I'd like to say too, this is shoe polish, which is funny. I've never actually used shoe polish in my entire life. But regardless, the thing I find really cool about this game came out in 04. And if you look at the water, man, Nintendo did a bang-up job doing the water in this game, like, genuinely. Like, they did a real bang-up job doing the water in this game, because even, it's 2026, and I honestly still think that the water looks pretty solid by today's standards. It's not even close to what we see in other games today, but it's still, like, for 2004? Like, that was, like, looking at the water is pretty revolutionary in this game, right? Shoe polish, high-quality shoe care, black. Alien billboard. Alright, no more treasure. We can head to the next floor. So I'm looking at my time, and I'm realizing right now that I think I overestimated how long these episodes are going to be. They're sort of averaging to be about the same as the first game. So I apologize if I overestimated, but I wasn't sure, especially because, you know, these dungeons tend to be, like, they extend the length of the game. So, got a new enemy over there, Fiery Blowhog. These guys can throw Pikmin off. They can't kill any Pikmin inherently that's red if they can't throw them off into the abyss. So when you fight these guys, you want them to be facing away from those ledges. But they blow fire, and that's all they can do. If you got a Pikmin that can get set on fire like these purples, they can kill those Pikmin, but if you threw a squad of reds at a squad of Fiery Blowhogs, they will eventually die. So these guys really are not tough enemies. They were in the first game, just carried over into this game. So what we're just going to do, we're going to have him face me. And then we're just going to throw our purples at him. He'll get stunned, and he will die very quickly. Very nice. Okay. I am also going to say be careful of how you throw purples sometimes, especially near edges. Because they're chunky and because they slam down, unfortunately, there are some, like, weird physics that this game has where purple Pikmin just kind of slide off. And sometimes they can slide off into the abyss without you wanting to. Also, there's this little heart, gem, diamond thing, which is cute. Let's see what it's called. Very nice. It looks good, again, for 2004. Petrified Heart. It's actually good. I actually like that name a lot. Kind of like a preserved heart. Alrighty, Fiery Blowhog. Turn around here, bud. Look at me. Bud, look at me, please. I don't like that he's at the edge there, but what are you going to do? Alright. Look at me! Alright, very nice. Okay. Carry this guy back to base, and there's one more treasure. I think I know exactly what it is. I believe it's another bottle cap. Yeah, right over here. Very nice. Now this was also different in the original game. If you have the GameCube version, I can't remember what it was in the original GameCube version, but it was. I think it was different than this. But the other thing too, I'd like to point out. Did I? I think I talked about the localization. Yeah, I couldn't remember if I talked about the localization, but I did. That there's some items that exist in other versions of this game. But I will say, in terms of other versions of this game, if you want the Wii version of this game, I believe it was Japan only. So, best of luck getting that if you so wish. Coconut water. I like that. Drought Ender. Yeah, certainly. I think it was a soda before. So, where's the floor exit? There it is. Alrighty. Gonna keep going. I believe this is a milestone sort of floor right here. I believe so. Let's see if it is. I can't remember. I think this is the floor. Yes, it is. Okay. Now that we've done a lot, we're approaching 20 minutes. I think this is a great place to end, because if you look over there... where is it? Can you see it? Can you see it quite yet? Look it over there. Alrighty, guys. So, what we did in this episode, we ended up finishing up the Hole of Beasts, and we ended up getting into the White Flower Garden. We beat Empress Ballblacks, who really wasn't that hard of a boss. Got the treasure gauge, which is really, really nice, and we ended up making it through 3 floors of the White Flower Garden. So, next time on Pikmin 2, we'll be continuing ourselves to the White Flower Garden, and seeing what new kind of Pikmin that we will be getting in the next episode. So I hope you guys look forward to that. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and also follow me on the socials, as those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.
High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create.